Today I'm going to ride Moto Guzzi Audace 1400. Let's go. So as you can see, I'm not in Gran Canaria anymore, in Canary Islands. I am in my home country, the Czech Republic in Central Europe, in my home city actually, the Náchod. And yeah, in a few next episodes, I would like to show you a little bit of the landscape of my country. But we are here because of the bike. This is a Moto Guzzi Audace 1400 version carbon. So the Audace came from the California model, which came on the market, I think, in 2013. By the way, California has a long history, going to 1971, I think. And this Audace is kind of a more sporty, more dark version of the California. It has a some sort of improvements, such as the most visible is the foot packs, which is not the typical chopper ones, but or cruiser ones, but the classic foot packs, which are higher and allows you some kind of nice angle. We have a different fender in this version from carbon, same here. The new exhaust, and they are like shorter and way louder than on the California. By the way, in California the sound is probably the biggest downside, and here it's absolutely okay. The carbon parts on this is a real carbon, by the way, on this version is beautiful. The red head cover and together with the Brembo calipers in the front, it's really cool. I like the design of the wheels as well, and the rear fender with the LED lights. Not bad at all. So the most important thing on this motorcycle, of course, is the engine. It's it's enormous. From the design point of view, you just know about it. Even it doesn't matter whether you look at the motorcycle from behind, from here, or you're sitting on it. You definitely know about it. It's I like the design. It's it's air and oil cooled, 1380 cc V-twin. It has about something like 96 horsepower and 121 Newton meters of torque. And now this is the big difference. And now you will see the difference between this and a typical cruiser, which usually offers something from 50 to 70 or 75 horsepower. And usually all the fun ends in about 4,500 or 4,800 RPM, and it's just end. But here, if you look at this massive, a massive tacho, you'll see like 7,000 you can rev the motor, and that's right, like this is like there is something happening from 5 to 7,000, and it's really fun, and you can really enjoy the peak of the power basically. And once you will hit the really nice curvy road and with nice tarmac, it definitely can attract people younger than like typical owners of cruisers. And at the same time, from the torque point of view, you have 121 Newton meters, which is not anything like extraordinary for this massive engine, but you have it very, very soon. So if you look at the chart, you will see that you have basically 95% of it from 2.3 or 2.4 thousand RPM. And of course, every big muscle motorcycle or chopper or V-twin, usually you will read that they have a massive torque from the low RPM range. But here is, I think, even more than we are used to, because 95% just straight away, almost from the start, and you will feel it when you ride it, because it's very easy to operate, and you always feel that you have like more power than you need basically. From the suspension point of view, we have a non-adjustable, a classic telescopic fork, which has enough wideness. It's enough wide, 46 millimeters, I think. But you can't adjust it. At the front and rear, it's both made by Sachs, which is very quality manufacturer. In the rear, we have two parallel shocks with fully adjustment, like fully adjustable. And from the factory, the bike is quite sporty. So I mean, you need to have a good tarmac. If not good, but good tarmac. If the quality of the asphalt it's not perfect, like which usually happens in the Czech Republic, and you know, like what's more, if you need to go through, you know, like back road or anything to your holiday house or anything, this you know, it's a little bit painful. And I just kind of, it needs a nice day, a nice tarmac, and then it's perfect. In terms of sitting position, so first of all, this is a bike for the big guys, I would say, and I can't tell you exactly what are the numbers, like from which height or to which, you know, it will suit to people, whether it's 160 centimeters to 2 meters or whatever. But this is for a big guys, and it does actually need some strength, you know, like this is not about the manipulation on the gas station or just here when I need to go, you know, back or anything. It just need some strength. 317 kilograms with the full tank, so the weight doesn't disappear when you go, like it usually say about the motorcycles and heavy motorcycles. It's still there, and of course it's not that difficult in the corners or anything. It's still very good due to kind of sporty positions of riding. It's nice, but you need to have some strength to operate a motorcycle, so probably it's not that good for like 55 kilograms girls or anything. And it's not very good for commuting. It's not very good for city riding. If you want to go every morning through the traffic jam, I would definitely pick a different bike. Anyway, all the buttons here are really solid. I like it. I like the speedo and this is really nice. This is really suits the whole model. Mirrors all okay. The engine, no problems with my long legs at all. Foot pegs, as I told you, the position. First you will sit on the bike. It's a little bit untraditional, but when you ride, you will really like it. Probably. It's very sporty, very nice. Also it is not the best bike for the pillion, for the passenger. I mean, it could be nice to take a girlfriend for a trip, but again, you know, many bikes are more comfortable, especially when you plan to go, I don't know, to a different country or whatever. I did already about 700 kilometers on this bike, and it's just something you have to experience. If this is a cruiser, like this really feels different than your usual cruiser, and it really is here to attract younger people who like the big displacement engine, likes Moto Guzzi, likes cruising, but at the same time want to enjoy corners, twisty roads, and some kind of adrenaline. So here is this Moto Guzzi. Let me start with seating position. It's very different than I'm used to. I'm all about custom bikes and scramblers or my Yamaha XSR, and here the position of the legs is very different. As you can see, I have like the 90-degree angle here in my knees, and they're all in front. And yesterday we were cruising a lot with my friend on Triumph Scrambler, and switching the bike was very big difference in the seating position, of course. And also the Scrambler felt suddenly like a toy. So it's great to sit on a big bike finally. The foot pegs, are actually quite high, and the limits are very high actually in the corners. For in the category, it's really above the category of standards, and you can enjoy the corners. I think it can be compared to a lot of normal bikes. It's very hard to actually hit the limit. I mean, it's not impossible, but you can do quite a huge steering angle on this bike. That's nice. What else? In terms of comfort, it's actually the seat is very comfortable, at least for the rider. But in terms of like a commuting or traveling, I think this is not the right bike you should pick. However, I'm really satisfied with the engine and with the power it offers, torque it offers, like the style, how this engine works. It's very fast actually, like 96 horsepower. There are stronger bikes, of course, but most of the people, most of my friends which tested the bike with me, they said like, wow, this is really fast. I mean, I didn't expect it. And we went with this Triumph Scrambler 900 yesterday. It's my model with aftermarket exhaust and with some different fuel map. It has some 65 horsepower.
and it's quite nice bike. It's not that heavy as this one, and usually when we were overtaking cars and Scrambler did on the third gear full acceleration, I was just having fifth gear and has the same power there. So, and you know, when the Scrambler need to change the gear, I was basically, I disappeared and I was very far. Like the difference was kind of a big. So this is about the engine. Brakes are extraordinarily great. Probably with the engine is one of the best parts of this bike. I really like the brakes. It will just offer you a lot of confidence. So this is great. One thing which, you know, also people are afraid in Moto Guzzi's is the gearbox and clutch. And I have to say that on this model, it's actually really nice, and it's very different than you would say on the older Harley Davidsons or any other V-twin cruisers. It's very, very exact, very easy to operate. I mean, the gearbox, and I was very surprised by the first gear. Like if you put there from the neutral to first gear, usually you feel like you know, on the Harleys you hear the sound. It's very hard, like the steel sound, and here it's just like a modern bike. So this is great. Also, it has a lot of electronic systems. So this one has a cruise control. I'll show you. Now it's activated by this button. I go 60, and it works very nice. I think I tested. I think it starts at something like 35 kilometers, so you can cruise in the city and on a highway. That's great. That's a cruise. It has a full maps and electronic throttle. It has three full maps. I now have a touring there, Turismo, which is the middle one. Also there is a sport, which is called Veloce, and also the rain map. And I use only these two, like a sport and touring. There is a difference on the throttle reaction, but and actually, yeah, I mean, when I want to go very fast, I use it. But most of my time I use touring map, and really enjoying these two phases of the bike, like very calm, and then you just open up the throttle, and the bike behind me, there is my friend on CB F600 had to change, I think, like 2 or 3 gears to keep up with me. So that's a nice one. Hi guys. Traction control in 3 levels, and you can turn it off as well. Also, it has, you know, the Bluetooth possibility to, you know, connect with the mobile application. I think it's an extra package you need to pay for, and I just tested the mobile application. It's not the best app I ever seen, but I definitely wouldn't buy this bike because of, you know, some mobile applications, but because this amazing engine design. But for anyone who is looking for cruiser but wants to have more abilities in the corners and wants to be faster in the corners and wants to have the engine which, you know, all the fun doesn't end at 5,000 RPM or less, but wants to go 7,000, this looks really, really good. Still, it's not a Ducati Diavel or Yamaha VMAX. It's not a 150 horsepower machine or something, but at the same time, it could be very fast. I consider, like, the speeds between 70 and 170, you know, when it's legal, then, you know, these speeds are very good for this motorcycle, very comfortable. It can accelerate very fast on any gear. I tested once on a closed road to acceleration to 190. It was very fast. And oh my god, I mean, in absolute numbers, maybe this is not the fastest, but from the feeling point of view, it was like, wow, it's accelerating so crazily, and like this heavy bike, 318 kilos, and it accelerates so, it's like you think like the physics doesn't exist anymore. This is really, really different feeling than I had on some other bikes. Hi, hello. So this is the target group of this bike. I should put some conclusion, I think.
So I just spent 4 beautiful days with this Moto Guzzi Audace. We went about 1,000 kilometers. We were camping, you know, sleeping in a tent. And everywhere we went, like, people, you know, this definitely grabbed an attention of people. Everybody wants to take photos, asking what is this, you know, bikers or not bikers, everyone. This is really exclusive motorcycle. Also exclusive by the price. It's not very cheap bike, but it offers a lot, I think, in terms of design, in terms of engine, great brakes. So definitely great bike for a weekend ride, really charismatic. There could be a couple of downsides, so I would probably take an upgrade for LED lights because in the front, because there are in the rear one. But I think the visibility is very important. So that one I would probably go for. Also, the comfort doesn't, might not be that high like on a usual cruiser, because this is still crossover between a cruiser and kind of a sportier bike. So it's a little bit more stiff and a little bit more hard, and but it offers, on the other hand, it offers very nice angles in the corners and nice kind of experience in the corners as usual in general. And so overall, it's very difficult to find some very big downsides of this motorcycle, and it was a pleasure, to be honest. So thank you very much for watching my channel, and see you soon.